What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today I've got something special for you. This is a weird one. It took me a good amount of playing this game to figure out what was actually going on with it. But the game is called Spire of Sorcery, and it's a really hard game to quantify in words. But it's a game where you are three wizards who have broken out of wizard jail. The Inquisition is holding you there. And you're trying to basically put together a bunch of magic spells to rekindle the age of magic and break all your wizard brothers and sisters out of the wizard Hooskow. That's pretty much it. Out of the wizard clink. And so that's my best understanding of the game. But this game is very novel, and you guys know that I have a large appreciation for novelty in games, like games that take big swings and they take, big chances. And this is a weird game. It's a very odd title, and so we'll kind of talk about why that is as we get further on in. I may have trouble describing some of the mechanics as we go through because I've got about an hour with the game. I've done about 2 campaigns. One of them died horribly. I was eaten by strange beaked monsters. And then the other one I got far enough to where I was like, okay, I kind of get the core gameplay here and what's going on. But let's get started, and I'll try to explain things as we move. But this is going to be a very wordy video. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, you can look down below in the description. I'll have a link for you. You can wishlist it down there. This is Next Fest demo, so you can play the demo until the end of the weekend as well. If this goes live after the weekend has already passed, I apologize. But let's go. It was a regular day at the Empire, just like any other. The peasants plowed muddy fields and the soldiers marched along dusty roads, and the Inquisitors relieved boredom by beating yet another group of young mages who failed to embrace the reality of imprisonment at the Sanctuary of the Corrupted. Then, unexpectedly, some of the mages felt something that they have only whispered about, the call of the Spire. Was it bait by the Inquisition, or the summoning come from a real Spire, one of the living self-aware fortresses of the mages of the past? 3 mages bet their lives on the latter and escaped the Sanctuary of the Corrupted to follow the call, going east into the wild lands. Alright, so the first thing that we've got to do is we've got to pick our mages. These are all randomly generated. They have different stats. They have different things going on with them. And so you want to take a look because some of them can definitely be better than others. I tend to actually just kind of look at their equipment. Everything in the game can be right-clicked to get more information about it because this is an early demo. Sometimes the information is not there, but you should be able to figure out vaguely what each object does. I don't have anybody with food around here. I was hoping we get somebody with food. Let me re-roll this batch. Really what I look for at the beginning of the game is anybody that brings rations. So I don't even care what this person does. They have food. And so this food is enough to last us several days, and so she's in Anti, I guess. So her strongest stat is resilience right here, so she's got a really good immune system. That means that if she's attacked with toxins, it takes a long time for them to fill up that meter and give you a status effect. She has a weak stomach. I don't know exactly what that means. Oh, they're digesting. Oh, really? So she's resilient to toxins, but she's also weak to toxins. All right, fair enough. And she's good at cooking, so there is a lot of crafting and stuff in this game. Let's see who else we have here. Anybody else have food? Because I will take you part and parcel if you have food. All right, so looking at the rest of our batch, nobody else has food. They do have a Commander's Brew, which I think gives you some kind of resistance from what I can tell. What is that right there? Protection from frost. It gives you frost resistance. Okay, and then she's got Soldier's Vomit right here, which gives you fear resistance. We've got butterflies in stomach. That'll lower your poisoning, so that's not too bad. She's resilient to toxins and weak to poisons. She's an amnesiac. Okay, so amnesiac basically means that she can only have spells with a certain number of constituent components. The entire combat system of this game is effectively you gathering the energies that you need to cast one spell, and this means that the spells she can cast are limited to the first couple pages before you get to the really complicated stuff. Let's go with has regular health. This person is a whiner. When they reach a limit of their endurance, they receive wounds. That's not too bad. What does Jumpy do? We don't really have that, but her goal is to fall in love. Okay. There you go. So if she falls in love during the course of the journey, it will push all of her stats to max. Sounds like an okay plan. This guy's really easy to poison, but he's really strong against disease. And he doesn't care when the party's hungry. It's not too bad. I'll take that. He's got kind of a terrifying jokery look to him, but I'm not going to hold that against him. He can come in the party. So there's all our starting stuff right there. We have sustenance points, so that should hold us for a little bit while we're adventuring. Let's dive on in. So this is the world map of the game right here. Now, there's a couple of things you can do down here. You can look at your inventory. You've got your alchemic cauldron that you can use to make potions, and you've got your cooking pot that allows you to make food and other random things. We've got what season it is. So there's different seasons, and there's different like waxings and wanings of the moon and stuff like that. It'll tell you what it affects. Like it'll say like, oh, fear spells are more powerful during the month of whatever. Or it'll be like destruction spells, you know, or like monsters of this type are stronger. Basically, it cycles around. I don't know if it's random or not, but like... it's one of those things. So we've got a magic node down here that we can go and visit. That's always your first objective. The magical node allows you to extract somebody from the Spire and add them to your party, as far as I know. At least that's what it seems to sort of imply. The party emerges into a wide valley with many opportunities for resources and loot. The mages must reach the magic node in the valley's eastern part, activate it so that the Spire can extract the party to its own domain. Oh, well, maybe it's trying to extract us then. All right, we'll start this chapter. We've got a practice combat right here, right at the beginning, so that's really, really good. We've got a couple of quests that we can take a look at. These are just the overarching things that we're supposed to be working on. So the magic node is the major one. We also have a prisoner of an anomaly over here. So anomalies are punctures in the fabric of the universe through which the realm of chaos bleeds into our world. With spells, they can be tamed and used as a space tunnel navigated by the willpower of the mage. To increase chances of survival, the party now needs additional members. So basically, someone is trapped inside the Inquisition Tower. We can use this to teleport them out and add them to our party. This is a dangerous anomaly right here. I'm pretty sure this means that it fights back, but it's basically the same thing as this one right here. I don't actually know how to interact with the anomaly because I've never made it that far. I always die first. But anyways, there's all of our quests. We can close that on down. So we are officially on the first part of the map. Some things that are going to be on the map are going to be like resources. So if we go over here, that's probably like an alchemical component. There's a treasure chest over here. It's enchanted. If we can successfully disenchant it, we can get the loot out of it. So I'm going to start with that. But we know that the thing that we're working towards is in the eastern part of the valley, so we can give that a go. Supplies from the Spire. Occasionally, the Spire will dispatch to the party essential supplies. They are protected by a harmless spell that is easy to disarm. Yeah, let's go ahead. So this is the combat system right here. And the combat system takes a little bit of time to wrap your head around, but the basic idea is there's 3 phases to combat. The environment takes a turn, the wizards take a turn, then monsters take a turn. The environment can be anything from lightning storms to like flash floods. It can be a collapsing tunnel if you're fighting inside of a cave. Random things will happen, and universally they're almost always bad. The mage's turn, we get to decide what we want to do. These portraits right here, this is a very, very busy game with the UI, so let me see if I can explain this all to you. So essentially, these are your core stats right here. You have your health, you have your resistance to poisons, you have endurance, you have courage, and you have immune system. Things that strike you will fill these up. Now, when they fill up all the way, you don't die. When they fill up all the way, something bad happens. So, for example, this guy is bad at poisons. So if they fill up these 3 pips right here by targeting him with poison attacks, he will get a poison-related permanent debuff that we have to figure out how to get rid of via magical means, and it sort of gives you kind of like these extra goals to work on and stuff to save your party members or otherwise let them die. Down here, we have temporary effects, permanent effects, so on and so forth. We can retreat, we can run away. Just in case the fight is not going the way that we want it to. Over here on this left-hand side, this is your morale. Basically, if you can cast 3 spells in 3 rounds, everybody in the party loses fatigue, which is actually really, really good. So we have 3 turns left to get that done. These are your wizard's hands. They'll start doing incantations and stuff once you start putting a spell together. But the general idea of combat is that you're going to select a spell. Once you select a spell, these little dice right here, you're going to put them in as reagents for the spell, and any wizard can add their reagents to any other wizard's spell. And different spells do different things. They put different status effects on the enemy. It's up to you what you want to do. This right here is weak to disenchantment. We can also bludgeon it. The little bleeding icon right there is basically physical force, or we can blow it open with an explosive spell, which is like the little fire icons. So we'll disenchant this guy right here by going to our spell book. This is also a very intimidating menu. Don't worry about it too much. So, like, basically the way that it works is these are the constituent parts that you're going to have to put in for a spell in order to make it work, and this is the effect that you get out. And every spell comes in 3 variants, from weak to strong. And as you can see, they increase their effects, and then, of course, it increases the amount of reagents that you're going to be able to put in. They've got sorting toggles on the side right here so that you can look and see what you have in your hand and what you'd like to cast, and you can sort by what you actively have available. You can spend your turn discarding everything in your hand to get all new dice, or they get replaced once you assign them to a spell. But you can only take 1 action per turn. Be that adding this to here, recycling all of your dice, so on and so forth. Now, there is a caveat there. You can go in and you can use concentration in order to get a brand new hand or do an extra action, but that's going to add to your endurance meter right here, so something bad might happen if you let your endurance get up too high, like you mentally tax yourself too hard. We're looking for the ability to dispel this thing, so we're going to go with Unchaining right here. These are AoEs, if you're wondering why there's 3 of them. It means if we cast this on the center guy, everybody on the sides will also get hit by it. So this is for 3 enemies, this is for 1 enemy, and this is a giant nuke on 1 enemy. So we want Unchaining, and as you can see, she's going to start casting Unchaining. Unfortunately, we don't really have any of the parts for it except for Cold. So I'm going to recycle these guys' decks real fast, and that's going to be their action. We're not on a timeline right now because nothing's going to actively attack us or try to hurt us, so we don't have to worry about it too much, but we need some swirlies. The environment's not doing anything right now. Give me my swirlies. There's my swirlies right there, but we can't assign them because, as you can see, it put in a little lock right there, like on like a diamond ring or something. That means that you've already used your action for this turn by recycling your dice or already assigning one, so we got to wait for next turn. This doesn't seem that intense, but it's because we're not being attacked right now. When you're trying to set up spells and other enemies are actively trying to hurt you or cast spells at you, it actually gets a lot more intense, and you start looking between like the coincidences between what you have in your hand, poring over your spell book, being like, oh, what should I do? What should I do? It gets a little bit better. So we'll take those over to there. The spell is ready to be cast, and so we will unchain that chest right there. Shoobity boobity bop. There it is. The chest has opened. We got Blood Plaster. That's going to allow us to heal ourselves. It removes 3 wounds. We've got Foul Drops. They allow you to remove 3 disease. And then we've got the Refreshing Brew, which allows you to remove 4 fatigue. So some nice little starting pieces. We got to head to the east and see if we can find this portal that we're supposed to be going through. So I'm going to cut kind of down this way. If we see any enemies around, not going to try to push up on them. I'll be honest with you. I do think that the turn-based nature of this section of the game is unnecessary if there's no enemies around. I think it should just let you move freely and the daytime should just pass. And then once there's an enemy inside the fog of war, then it should make you go into turn-based mode, basically. But like I feel like they could get this part kind of working like real-time effectively with you just kind of clicking around. Or at least time only passes as you move. What the hell is that thing? A barrow with a fearful shadow? Oof. There's so many things in this game that I haven't seen yet, and like I'm still afraid of because I don't know what they do. I'm going to gather this meat right here. It's going to get added to our inventory. We're going to need that so that it's a desiccated corpse. We're going to need that in order to make ourselves like some food and stuff. We could go for the barrow right there. We could try to take this guy out, but honestly, I don't know if it's... Oh, never mind. He's going to take us out. Fun stuff. All right, well, there's our first bad guy right here. He goes first, apparently. He's faster than we are. He's casting something. That's never a good sign. So we can get rid of him by either using light magic on him, which is the top icon. We can make him run away if we use fire magic on him. And we can disenchant him. I think disenchanting him is the way to go. That's what I think. He's weak to disenchantment. So let's go for a disenchantment spell. Oh, we need 2 damage, and we don't have 2 damage. That's not great. It's not ideal. Okay, if we're going to have to multicast this, and that means there's going to be randomness involved. All right, so you both cast that. We have enough stuff on hand to cast it right now. We're getting Unity errors right now. All right, so let's take this. We'll throw it in there. We'll throw that in there. And then I'm going to use 1 fatigue to use his cold card right there. So there it is. The cost of using fatigue does go up as you get further on into the game, so keep that in mind. We've already got half of the stuff we need for this over here, so if we get lucky and we get another Dreamcast, We should be all right. We can either call that the Wishmaster or we can call that the Dreamcast. You can go with whichever one you want. Let's go ahead and cast Unchaining on his ass. Very nice. Not too bad for a first turn. I could use some more fatigue to pre-prep this spell, and I think that I will, actually. I don't know what he's going to do with his next turn, and frankly, I'd rather not find out. Oh no, dude, we're not getting any of the tiles we need. This is all bad. Everything is going wrong. Okay, well, we're going to cast this eventually, and once we cast it, we'll be okay. But that's going to be the duration of our turn, so hopefully it doesn't do anything too gnarly to us. It looks like he's using frost magic on us. So he has placed 2 frost on us. What does frost do? Let's see here. A target that has 6 or more gets something broken. A target that has 3 or more receives a wound per turn. Oh no. Okay, so that's like several different flavors of hell no. Okay. We've got the thing we need right here, so unfortunately he's just going to have to be super tired for this combat because we need to finish this now before this stacks up. So there we go. We've casted a Dispel on him, we've destroyed him, and now we get loot. What loot did we get? Blue lips. So this is, let's see here, we can consume it, and it will give us blue lips, or we can use it in a combat, and it will put 6 frost evenly distributed on all of our enemies. That's actually a pretty good item, if for the only reason that we already verified that 6 frost on a target causes big, big problems for that target. Like, they start taking damage every single turn for 3 frost, and 6 frost, it says that it shatters or something like that. Like, I don't know exactly what the symbol means, but, like, what does that mean right there? Oh, it doesn't have an indicator. Okay. Well, some of the tooltips are not altogether in. The game actually does a pretty good job of having the tooltips in and explaining what stuff does, but for right now, we're kind of SOL. Overgrown with moss, the barrow is sunk deep into the underground by the weight of heavy stone slabs. Despite the passage of time, it still smells of death. When the season of broken moon comes around, restless shadows creep out of the barrows looking for the blood of the living. Do you want to initiate the encounter? You know, considering we don't have the ability to cast big dispels for whatever reason, that makes me kind of fearful of going inside of there. If there's going to be multiples of those things that we previously killed inside of there, I don't think it's going to be good. Our sustenance is depleted, and one day you will start to feel the pangs of hunger. Okay, so we got to eat some food. Can I cook anything right now? With 2 of those, I can make something. However, it will give us tiredness. Can I have somebody else cook this? There we go. The other person doesn't like cooking. So it looks like we cooked 2 of those. That's fine. We've got spine on the coals. And then we've got 60 food right there, too. Your food meter is indicated, I think, right here. Yeah, this bowl fills up. Or, like, changes colors or something like that as you eat food. And I think we eat food by just going into here or something like that. I don't recall. There we go. We click on the party profile. For some reason, I was thinking you drag and drop it onto the party profile. But we got no food right now, so we should probably do something about that. Oh, apparently that food we ate is really, really gross, so it busted up our morale. All right, that's fine. I mean, we've got enough for right now. We got 15 days worth of food, so I think we'll be all right. I think every single turn is a day, so we've got about 45 cells of movement here that we can play around with. It looks like there's something big and beefy down there that probably wants to hurt us, just like everything else in this game. Phantom Moon. This is the season of those that belong to chaos. It is followed by the season of the broken moon. Okay. Well, there's our first portal right there. Oh, not you again, dude. There's another barrow over here. Oh, super weak, bro. Alright, well, I figure we bite this turd off the best we can. I mean, I can get to the prisoner of the anomaly first. A burst of chaotic energy tore through the ground here, throwing aside enormous stone blocks. Above the tear, there's a dark swirling cloud that mesmerizes with its vibrations. The air feels electrified, as if lightning could strike any moment. That's because it probably will, dude. The environment's probably going to try to murder us. Yeah, exactly. So a random person gets 2 cold every single turn. That's the worst. We need 3 disenchantments to get this one done. Oh, no, dude. Disenchantment is, like, by far my worst stat. Oh, no, dude. Oh, this is the worst. Can anybody do the big one, please? I need someone to do the big one. I think we can only muster together the little ones, so I think we're going to have everybody cast at once. I strongly dislike that. That's going to be rough. We may get kind of chewed to pieces here. It's a hard game. I'm not going to lie. It sort of reminds me, there's an old board game that I can't remember the name of that had like hex tiles, and you flip them over as you moved around. It's like an old board game from the 70s. And I played it like one time, and it was like viciously difficult, but like every single time the game was like interesting and had like a lot of cool stuff going on. And so like I had a really good time with it, even though it was like super crunchy and super difficult to figure out. I don't want to get. I'm gonna take a reroll on everything here, like on each person, just to see if we can eke out a couple of purpley-urplies. Oh, she had a purple, didn't she? I'm an idiot. My bad. Okay, well that's gonna be the turn. Oh, I got him again. Don't do that. Okay, got you. That's fine. As long as it spreads it around a little bit. We've still got time to play with here. We'll go with an acceleration right there. We'll re-roll you. We'll re-roll you. We've got a purple right there, so I'm going to take another fatigue to drop a purple on that one. We'll cast it over there. Your fatigue seems like it goes down day by day. Did it just take double damage? Did you just crit? Oh, you may have just saved us. You may have just saved our booty holes. Maybe not. I think I'm just going to have to re-roll for a couple of turns. We're not getting anything out right now. We're really, really bad. You can look at what dice people have by right-clicking them, and you can see here that everybody in our party is like really, really good at convergence and cold, and then like somebody in here was really, really good at fire and really, really good at dispersion, and then somebody was really good at cold and not good at anything else. So our chances of pulling out a purple, not that great. All things considered, not that great. Oh, we pulled out 2 purples right there. Well, he's got a lot of fatigue, so I'm just going to finish this right now before anything else goes wrong. And hopefully he recharges and feels better before our next fight. There we go. Oh, we've got to do it. It's filling up from the bottom. So something interesting happens. Oh, I didn't realize it was filling. I thought it was decreasing. So something interesting happens when we get it up to 3. You can see what's going to happen when you mouse over this stuff. But that's going to be our turn. I can't really go too much harder in the paint. Somebody's probably going to take some damage right here. I mean, we've only got a 33% chance to get out of this. Hey, and we pulled it out. We actually got the 33%. Don't you just love it? All right, I need some purpley-wurplies. So if you can make some purpley-wurplies happen for me here, I would appreciate it, my wizards. You got a purpley-wurply? All right, purpley-wurplate this thing. There we go. We have purpley-wurpulated, but we are very, very tired. That was a very, like, strenuous fight for us. With the requirements having been met, the following quest can now be completed. Nice. So we will complete Prisoner of the Anomaly. And we got a 4th person. What are you good at? So you're stubborn. You get a double mood penalty from running away. She's ruthless, so her mood goes up when we kill an opponent. They are not affected by mood penalties from hunger, and she's good at cooking. Well, I wish you had been. Hey, she's good at it. Yay, she's good at enchantment. Can she do good spells? No, she can't do that spell right there. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know if they level up or anything like that. I don't know if they can level up or get stronger or anything like that. I have had characters that were like flatly allowed to cast like the really good spells from the beginning. So I don't know. We can put a Traveler's Hood on her, and I do like the way that the portrait updates to make her look a little bit more different. And then we can put the necklace on her, which gives her a shield at the beginning of combat. Since she is probably our best character, I feel okay with that. I really hope that monster doesn't come up here to mess with me. He did! He did. Fantastic. Well, at least a little bit of our tiredness went away from resting. She's got a double shield right there. That should negate any effect that gets casted at her. So hopefully this guy casts at her. He's done a fear spell right there. So when that maxes out, he gets like anxiety or he becomes like a little tiny bit more crazy. He runs away. There's a number of things that can go wrong right there. Since we've got people that are good at fire, I'm sort of tempted to go for a fire magic spell right here. But that just makes him run away. How hard is it to get the light magic? What do I have for light magic around here? Let's take a look at light magic. So I could cast a light magic right now. I have a fire, and I have a cold. Technically, I could do the really, really good fire magic, and we could just one-shot him. And we do have most of the parts. That's what I'm going to do. All right. So I need to assign a cold right there. I need to assign a fire right there. I need to assign a clarity right there. We did not pull out a triangle, which is kind of a bummer, but we can go fishing for a triangle. There's a triangle. Let's just OTK this guy, dude. There it is. And apparently you get a different piece of loot depending on how you destroy him. That's good to know. I didn't realize a touch of shadow. Is that like an alchemical reagent? What is that? Let's see here. A touch of shadow. It's got the aspect of poison. Well, maybe we'll find out what it does. I think that's the more useful item, though, so I think we should go for disenchanting him when and where available. That's just kind of my assertion, is that I feel like that'd probably be a little bit better. I'm hoping at some point they put in little blurbs inside the codex about all the different spell reagents, because it seems like they're going for like a very immersive wizarding experience. And so for my observation for right now, like flavor text on all this stuff would be great to give you some background as to what it is. I assume that that's coming. In addition, I do think the spell effects could be a little bit better. I've noticed that like no matter what spell you cast, it does that little white pillar and then it does the stacking arrangements right there. They've got a really cool opportunity to give every single one of those spells like its own spell graphic, you know, that looks really badass, like shooting a fireball or conjuring kind of like ethereal claws at your enemy and stuff like that to really drive in the point that you're a powerful wizard. We're almost at the end of the video here. I kind of want to see what's in this barrow, but I know it's a bad idea. Yeah, let's see what's in here. So it's a barrow. We can disenchant it and we can get loot. Apparently it gives us 1 fear per turn, which is not actually that bad. Over here. So who did it give it to? It gave her 1 fear. Okay, that's fine. We have that soldier's decoction or whatever that we can use to get rid of it. So what were my options here? So we can either attack it and get loot, we can burn it and get loot, or we can disenchant it and get loot. Okay. Disenchanting might be our best gamble here. Although looking at the stuff we have in hand right now, maybe not. How hard is it going to be to burn? I don't have enough fires to get that done in a timely way. I really don't want to use unchaining on this thing. That's going to make this like a very tricky situation. What was the other option? We can use brute force on it. Okay. Well, we don't have any triangles and we don't have any swirlies. So for my reckoning, I think we should just go for the disenchanting. It feels bad and I don't want to do it, but I think we're going to have to. So let's just get everybody in disenchanting mode. And we'll try to piece this together the best that we can. I want to cast other spells, but I never have the dice where I want them to be to cast the spells I want. All right, so put that right there. All we have is cold for right now. Everybody else is going to have to recycle their hand, and we've just got to kind of like pray that we pull something decent out here. She got a swirly right there, so that's good. Went on magical adventures, got swirly. Ain't that just the way life goes? Don't it always seem to go that you get a swirly on your mage adventures? I think we should be okay to the fear, especially since her shield just absorbed that one, so I feel okay about that. Let's recycle you, recycle you. We are fishing for very specific stuff right now. And until we get those things, we're just kind of stuck here. I gotta hope that I get a good handful of purpley-wurplies. Okay, the good news. It only took us like 4 turns to get the stuff that we needed. And I'm preparing myself for a barrage against the enemy. It looks like it gave him some more fear, which is really the person that we did not want to get that fear. We got our 2 purpley-wurplies right here. And we've got our cold right there, so we're ready to rock. Let's burn this thing down. It does say, it's got exclamation points, which means something weird is going to happen when we get this thing done. But I guess we'll find out. Ah! We summoned a whole bunch of ring wraiths. Fantastic. But apparently we got a bunch of loot out of the damn thing, so that's good. It looks like these guys run from fire, and it looks like they drop loot if you disenchant them. You're going to make me go for... They only take 1 disenchant, though, to take down. I would like to make this a very loot-filled fight if I can. Let's go ahead and get it ready. I guess more dispelling. All right. Just get the 2 dispels ready. All right. And then she's kind of tired, but like... Can't take too much more fatigue on him, but I'm going to do it. Ugh, he didn't get anything. Try again. There we go. That's a little bit more workable. We can squeeze something together here. They're going to get a turn, unfortunately. I wasn't looking to go into a chain fight, but we going into a chain fight. So it looks like they put confusion on us. And she's charging something up, although what that is, we don't know. We should have one of them dropped pretty quickly. Oh, my goodness gracious. She lost her entire hand? Oh, that's not good. That's real bad. So did he. Oh, gross. I don't like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and we'll throw the thing on there. He's going to take 1 more fatigue just so we can get this off and kind of limit the field. Let's kill her real fast. So she's gone. And we got 1 more spell going out, but I can't suffer any more fatigue. So she's charging something up. That works out okay. There's no environmental stuff happening. You throw a cold on there. You re-roll. You re-roll. We got 1 of the purples that we need, but we'll try to fish it out next time on her, maybe. Oh, more confusion. No, dude, it's going to wipe out my dices. Weak. Actually, we came out better than we did last time. As long as we don't get confused again, we're okay. We got confused again. That's pretty obnoxious. At least it doesn't wipe out our spell in progress, so that's good. She pulled another one. Nice. Hell yeah, let's banish this thing and get the hell out of here. Nice. What a weird game, dude. We got some merchant's clothes. We've got a bag of bones, some more touches of shadow. The last wish of the departed. It gets rid of all of our fatigue. Oh my god, it's like an elixir. We lose all of our fatigue, all of our poison, and all of our toxin. That's really, really good. That's like solidly good. My name is Splattercat. This is the Spire of Sorcery. I like this game a lot. I do think that there's some visual elements that could like kind of match up a little bit better because they've clearly put a lot of effort into the artistic design of the game. It's a good looking game when you're on the overworld map and when you're on this map and when you're looking at the menus. Like they put a lot of work into the UI and making everything look really, really aesthetically pleasing. I think combat is where they should focus though. I think that with the icons that come up, they just sort of appear out of nowhere and it makes it very jittery. They pop in between characters, like they disappear from one spot, appear on another person. I think they could make much better effects with like faders and kind of like fading things in, or even better, like when a spell effect goes off, you know, like when they put confusion on us, it just put the confusion symbol just appears on screen. They could make that kind of like spiral up from the background, show off, and then spin off to the side to the person that it affects. Like there's ways to sort of, I think, make it look a little smoother in combat with regards to the visual elements. But I'm excited about this game. I like what it's doing. It's novel, and I have an appreciation for games that take chances and do weird things, and this is definitely one of those games. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for stopping on in. That's all I got for you today.